Ever wonder why some people who don't seem to be the most talented just win? It's a question that can keep you up at night, especially when you feel like you re-putting in the work but not seeing the results you want. We're often told that talent is the key to success. We see prodigies, natural-born athletes, and gifted artists, and we think, wow, they were just born with it. But what if I told you that's only a small part of the story? What if the real secret, the one thing that truly separates the winners from the rest, is something far less glamorous but infinitely more powerful? Let's talk about it. We live in a culture that worships talent. We see the highlight reels, the overnight successes, the viral moments. It creates this illusion that greatness just happens. One day you're unknown, the next you're a star. But that's a myth. Behind every one of those overnight successes are years, sometimes decades, of unseen, unglamorous, relentless work. The truth is, talent is overrated. It's a great starting point, a wonderful advantage to have, but it's not the main event. It's the appetizer, not the main course. The real game changer is consistency. Think about it like this. Talent is the spark, but consistency is the fuel that turns that spark into a raging fire. A talented musician who only practices when they feel inspired will always be outplayed by a less naturally gifted musician who practices every single day, rain or shine. Why? Because consistency builds momentum. It compounds. Every small, seemingly insignificant action you take on a regular basis builds on the last one. It's like saving money. Putting away $1 doesn't feel like much, but $1 a day for 10 years, that adds up to a significant sum. The same principle applies to any skill, any goal, any dream you have. People often lose not because they lack ability, but simply because they stop. They hit a plateau, they get bored, the initial excitement fades away, and they quit. They see the gap between where they are and where they want to be, and it feels too big, too daunting. So they give up, convinced they just don't have what it takes. They mistake a temporary lack of progress for a permanent lack of potential, but Winners have a different mindset. They understand that the journey isn't a sprint. It's a marathon filled with long, boring stretches. They win because they keep showing up. They show up on the days they're tired. They show up on the days they're uninspired. They show up on the days when they feel like they're going backward. They show up long after the initial thrill and excitement have worn off. That's the critical difference. The excitement phase is easy. Everyone is motivated at the beginning. It's what you do when that feeling is gone that defines your trajectory. This is where consistency builds its true power. It's not just about repetition, it's about building trust with yourself. Every time you keep a promise to yourself to do the work, you build self-discipline and set. You are literally rewiring your brain to believe that you are the kind of person who follows through. You're no longer relying on fleeting motivation. You're operating on a system of discipline, and that system is unstoppable. Imagine trying to push a giant heavy flywheel. Getting it to move that first inch takes an enormous amount of effort. It feels impossible. You push, and it barely budges. This is the beginning of any new endeavor. It's frustrating. You're putting in all this work and seeing almost no movement. This is where most people quit. But if you keep pushing consistently, day after day, something magical happens. The flywheel starts to turn, slowly at first, but then it picks up speed. The momentum builds. Soon it's spinning so fast that it's almost impossible to stop. Your continued effort now creates massive results. That is the power of consistency. The work doesn't get easier, but your momentum makes the output far greater. Look at any field. The greatest writers aren't necessarily the ones with the most brilliant ideas from the start. They're the ones who write every single day, who fill pages with terrible first drafts just to get the words out, who edit and rewrite relentlessly. The most successful entrepreneurs aren't always the ones with the most revolutionary idea. They're the ones who consistently test, adapt, and improve their product, even after 100 failures. The fittest athletes aren't the ones who had a single heroic workout. They're the ones who never missed a training session, who paid attention to their diet every day, who focused on sleep and recovery as part of their job. They found satisfaction in the daily grind. They understood that the tiny, boring, repetitive actions are the building blocks of mastery. Consistency isn't sexy. It doesn't make for a great movie montage. It's just quiet, steady, determined effort. It's choosing to do the work when no one is watching, when there's no applause, and when you have no guarantee of success. So, how can you apply this? First, stop waiting for inspiration to strike. Inspiration is a fickle friend. Discipline is a reliable partner. Create a routine and stick to it, no matter how you feel. Start small. The goal isn't to be perfect, it's to be consistent. Want to write a book? Write 1 page a day. Want to get fit? Do a 15-minute workout every day. The point is to build the habit of showing up. Second, embrace the boredom. There will be days when the work feels dull and unrewarding. That's normal. That's part of the process. See these moments not as a sign to stop, but as a test of your commitment. This is where you separate yourself from the majority. When you push through the boredom, you're building a mental toughness that is far more valuable than raw talent. And third, reframe your idea of failure. Missing a day isn't failure. Giving up is failure. If you fall off the wagon, don't spiral. Just get back on the next day. The path to success is not a straight line. It's messy, with dips and detours. The key is to just keep moving forward, one step at a time. The winner is often just the person who was willing to get up one more time than everyone else. In the end, talent might get you noticed, but consistency will get you results. People lose because they stop. Winners win because they keep showing up. So forget about whether you have enough talent. That's the wrong question. The right question is, are you willing to be consistent? Are you willing to keep showing up long after the excitement fades? Because if you are, you're not just on the path to success, you are becoming unstoppable. Thanks for watching. If this message resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe for more content to help you on your journey. See you in the next one.